Where's the important part? Here it is. Reducing the total number of mechanical affixes on a keystone. Good. From 2 to 1. Okay, that's good. So that means you'll only have to interact with one thing. Bro. They're getting rid of sanguine, bolstering, raging, and bursting. Okay. I mean, that's pretty much what people wanted, right? Because my worry though, it doesn't look, I mean, we'll have to continue reading. Okay, yeah, there's some juicy stuff down there, it looks like. But my worry is they were gonna, because they got rid of storming, uh, friggin' volcanic, the easy ones, entangling, and then they kept these, and people were like, "What the hell are you thinking?" So my worry is that they were gonna just flip flop it, so like retire these and then bring back volcanic and storming, which those affixes, in my opinion, are just pointless. Like, just don't like, why even have an affix at that point? You know what I mean? So it doesn't look like that's what they've done. I mean, we'll have to see what's down here, but it doesn't look like, I don't see it anywhere. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay, what are they doing about these four? Because these four are trash. Applying bonuses unevenly to players makes them feel exclusionary regardless of overall impact. Affixes that were a part of the last Mythic Keystone test will no longer apply. So these are gone. That's what I'm reading correct, right? Yeah, these are gone. Good. Good. These were trash. These are, like, I wanted to see how they played before I started getting upset and stuff. I wanted to play them, but just reading these, they were trash. It was basically like your tanks are going to be screwed, and then people are going to worry about, like, oh, what kind of damage do you do? Well, you know, they got to bring the arcane mage this week, and with that was silly. Introducing thematic elements to affixes by invoking that in Mythic Keystones with her own set. Okay, this is dope. So this is basically like a seasonal. They're bringing back a seasonal affix, which I mean, I like the thematic stuff, so I'm happy to hear that. I don't mind seasonals as long as they aren't trash seasonals like Prideful. Utilizing passive affixes to signpost expected increases in player mastery and commensurate rewards as players progress through the Mythic Keystone system. This seems like just a fluff sentence. We'll continue. We're aiming to eliminate push weeks by providing consistent challenge. This is a good goal. Push weeks suck. I like to push Mythic Plus every week, and I hate when I'm in a week where I feel like me pushing is pointless. So having the ability to, like, every week be a quote unquote push week, that's a good goal for Blizzard to obtain. All right, new affixes, juicy stuff here. Starting at Keystone level 2, Zal. We're just going to call this person Zal. Herself will manifest in dungeons, introducing a rotation of affixes under the banner of Zal's Bargain. Okay, pretty dope. Sounds cool. They not only seek to empower the dungeon denizens, so like the trash mobs, but they also grant players the opportunity to harness their effects. Okay. First test week, so I'm assuming this is on the beta. So if you have beta, get in there and test it. Let me know how it is. One affix is the event players must deal with periodically, while the other affix is a passive effect. Okay, so there's two things from Zal. Now, do these happen every key, I wonder? Ascent. The first one, Ascent. While in combat, Zal rains down orbs of cosmic energy that attempt to empower enemies, increasing their haste and movement speed. If players disrupt these orbs, they claim them for themselves. Okay, interesting. I wonder though, if players disrupt these orbs, what does that entail? I wonder what this means. That this part right here is going to be very important, because this could mean this is a new explosive affix. I feel like, there's an orb and players must disrupt them by, tagging them with an ability. So it's explosive disguised as Zal's Bargain Ascent. And also, like, the enemies try to collect them. So how does that work? I wonder. Like, if they run into it, then they get it, or like if their AoE damage happens, they get it. I don't know how that's gonna work. I'd be interested to see this. Maybe I'll try to watch some Maximum. I bet he's testing this stuff as we speak. Some Maximum, or like Noah, those big wigs. Okay, the second one, Zal's Bargain Frenzied. Non-boss enemies become frenzied at 30% health. So it's a raging. Oh, but it's raging, but it increases their haste. Oh, it increases their damage taken also. Okay. So it's raging, but it increases haste instead of damage. But then they also take more damage. So basically, like the guys in Uldaman that cast the Berserk buff that like hits them, and then like they do more damage but they take more damage. So this is fine. This is basically a Kiss Curse. So they got rid of the terrible Kiss Curse, instituted an okay, I'm all right with it Kiss Curse. I'm down with this. I wonder if you'd be able to soothe, not that you would want to, but I wonder if you would be able to soothe or anything this off. Sounds like the ball provides a passive effect to the mobs, and then if players interrupt whatever, player gets the buff. Ah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's probably exactly how that works. This is basically explosive then, kind of. It's explosive, but it's going to be periodic, and it probably won't get out of hand like explosive did. And I also hope that you can just run through the orb, so you don't have to like waste a global, because that always felt bad, because I think that's what made it become a healer affix, is that DPS didn't want to waste globals on hitting a ball that does nothing, and AoE damage didn't work. So then it became, well, who has the least important globals? Probably the healer, maybe the tank. I don't know. The tank it depends on key level here, but usually it's the healer that has the most available globals. So hopefully they make this to where you can just run through the orb and then you're good to go. Okay, starting at Keystone level 7, a new affix, Challenger's Peril, directly affects the dungeon timer. This affix emphasizes precise play and strategic execution, placing greater risk on players' decisions. All right, Challenger's Peril, dying subtracts 15 seconds. Oh, damn. Okay, so every keystone above 7, when you die, it's 15 seconds. Oh, man. My gut reaction is this is going to make people even more toxic than they were before. Because you're gonna have some poor healer that is like trying his best to absolutely pump heals into his team to keep them alive because they're not kicking, and they're gonna get mollywopped by some AoE like a couple times in a row, and then everyone in the key is gonna be like, well, we just lost a minute because this healer like doesn't have eyes. Hopefully that's not the case, but that's, I don't know. From as much bugging as I do, that's my gut initial like knee-jerk reaction to this, is people are going to get toxic about people dying. Hopefully that's not the case, but I think that may be the case. Then at level 12, get Zal's Bargain. This level, Zal revokes her bargains, empowering dungeon creatures. Betrays player, revoking her bargains. So revoking these two things, Ascent and Frenzy. So she takes these away, and instead she increases health and damage by 20%. Holy shit. Is this in addition to this may be answered right here. Now serves as a milestone affix that alternate between keystones levels 4 and 10 on a weekly rotation. Also affords more distinction between key levels for players progressing through the system, and a constant week-to-week experience for players progressing deeper into Mythic Keystone. So does Fortified and Tyrannical only through 4 and 10? Here's an example of a keystone. So 2 through 11 will have one of Zal's Bargains, Fortified and Tyrannical on a rotating schedule, Challenger's Peril, which is dying subtracts 15 seconds, plus 10, Tyrannical or Fortified is active. Why does it say this twice, though? Plus 4, and then plus 10. That's confusing to me. Is that confusing to anyone else? Am I just missing something here? Or does this mean that, like, so does that mean, like, 4 will be Fortified, and then 10 will be Tyrannical, and they alternate? Oh. So every week you get Fortified and Tyrannical at the same time? It's just what key level they start on? That's what's happening? For maybe this probably answers it right here, because I see Fortified and Tyrannical. Keystone level 12 and up, keystones have the following affix. So you'll get Fortified, the dying thing, Tyrannical. So you get Fortified and Tyrannical, and then she's gonna increase mobs by 20% health and damage. What the holy shit. So you'll have Fortified mobs, you'll have Tyrannical bosses, and then you add another 20% from X's Guile on top of that? Holy Lord, man. And that's from 12 and up. So that's, oh man, that just made 3K so much harder to get. Because 3K right now, you can basically do all 12s and then like a couple 13s and you get 3K. So 3K just became quite the milestone. Man, that's a lot to unpack. We're reevaluating how dungeon scores are granted under this new model. Okay. So they're probably going to make score. I don't know. This maybe tells me that they're going to make 3K like probably like at tens maybe. Cuz that would do cuz right now like with the way Mythic Plus works, like you hit 2K and you're like, "Cool, I got Keystone Master," and then you can hit 2500 for Keystone Hero and then you get the mount. Anything past that just doesn't matter. It's not rewarded. The only reason you do it is to like maybe get all your portals, and then if you're an absolute Chad, you're going up to hit like the rank 1 title, which is like 30. I think right now it's like 3500 ish. So maybe with them, by doing this, by making 12s and up pretty damn hard, like on paper looking at this, maybe they'll do like a scrunch where once you hit 12s and up, like you're hitting 3500, 3600, you're hitting the crazy scores that you see now, people, because people are doing like 18, 19s, 20s and getting into like the 35, 36, 3700. So maybe they're just doing a scrunch to where like now we won't see people with 3500, you'll see people with like 3100, and that's the new 3700 score, if that makes sense. Because it would also put to where like people that hit Keystone Hero, like Keystone Hero would mean a little more because you're having to go up to like 10s and stuff to get it, as opposed to like I think you can get Keystone Hero right now at like 8s. There's an image in the article I'm looking at that says, yes, fortified and tyrannical will work like both the same way, but flip-flopping. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? I don't know how I feel about it. Like, part of me is like, I think that's a good change. But then part of me is like, Tyrannical Week sucks, man. I look forward to not being Tyrannical Week. I don't mind this. I think my gut reaction is I think these are good changes. I think getting rid of all of these, golden, getting rid of these, golden, introducing Ascent and Frenzied, I'm fine with both of these as long as this doesn't become a new explosive. Like if we can just run through those orbs and we're good to go, I love that. This is fine to me. Increasing their haste. There might be some cases where like tanks or someone gets machine gunned down by like some bolter, but I don't mind this at all, especially if you can soothe it off. But it's probably with this damage increase, it's not worth soothing off. Challenger's Peril may end up being very toxic, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I mean, I like this. I think this in combination with having both fortified and tyrannical, that's insane. Like 12s are going to be so hard now, but maybe that's what they're trying to do, because they're trying to make it to where like 12 and up, like you're having the best players in the world attempt. I'm gonna be honest, like if I can get 3K by just doing 11s, that's what I'm gonna do personally. If I can stay away from 12s, I'll do it, because that is quite the challenge. I'm here to ball out and have fun. I'm not here to act like I'm Dorky Bear or something, you know what I mean? 12 just says F you. Absolutely it does. Guile on top of Fort and Tyrannical is, yeah, that's gonna be pretty damn harsh. Like you're gonna have to have your stuff squared away. This basically tells me like if like a kick is missed, if some AoE goes off, like the group is just dead and the key is probably over. Because you got to think like, so say someone gets, say like Tectonic Stomp goes off in Ruby life pools, the group wipes, like because you have fortified, which is beefing that mob up, and then on top of that he's doing 20% more. So Tectonic Stop goes off, like no one uses their stop or something. The group's dead. So now you have 5 times 15 seconds. Ooh, brother, that's a lot of lost time missing one stop. I don't know. I'm wondering, because they said this will be testing, right, this week? This week's beta. Okay, so they'll be testing this. So, you know, all the cool kids with beta keys will be figuring out whether this is legit or not. The stuff above 12, I'm really interested to see how this balances out, because I'm gonna be fairly disappointed. I really like trying to hit 3K, and I'm gonna be disappointed as if the score stays the same, where you have to do 12s and 13s for 3K. But that means I'm gonna have to go through this, man. That's gonna be a headache. I'm up for the challenge, but at the same time, like, am I up for the headache? You know what I mean? But I think all this stuff right in here, this is all juicy. I like all this, except for Challenger's Peril, just because I think that's, like, the community's already kind of toxic in Mythic Plus. I think that may make it a little more toxic. These are good changes. These are excellent changes. Thank God these are gone. But yeah, overall, I like it. I like where it's going. And it's nice that like they put out the initial changes like a week ago, and Blizzard has already looked at feedback and been like, oh man, they kind of hate this. and done something else. It's almost like they had this as a trap card or something, you know? Like, it's almost like they had this pre-prepared. Because, like, did they come up with this idea in a week? I don't think so. I think this was like a plan B. They were like, let's try this. We'll just, we'll see how they feel with still having raging. And then the second people were like, "Rah!" They just, boom, trap card on the table and went with plan B.